Well, good morning. Happy Friday. How are you? Yes, all of you. It's Friday morning. Welcome in. The Rob Brown Show's on your radio. 3 hours of sports talk excellence starts right now. And then we got all the sports. We got the NFL draft last night. We got the NFL draft tonight. The Greenville Triumph play tonight. The Greenville Swamp Rabbits play tonight in the playoffs. The Drive play this weekend. The NBA playoffs are on. NASCAR's running again this weekend. I mean, life, my friends, is very good. Hello, I am Rob, the great one Lonzo, on the other side of the glass. How do you do, sir?
I don't know why we're speaking in staccato, but I'm fine.
I'm just in a good mood, Zo. I'm just in a good mood. Better than Lamar Jackson, who clearly was a wee bit frustrated with his squad last night.
That could have been about anything.
Yeah, question mark. What the bleep, bro? We traded away Hollywood. 9 broken heart emojis.
So it was
Lamar Jackson tweeted, just simply, WTF.
a good or bad night for the Brown family, depending on how you look at it, I guess. A couple Browns went somewhere else. Hollywood Brown.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm like running through AJ, Hollywood, me. I was trying to think who traded me last night.
I'm shocked you're here this morning after the Browns, decided to go places last night.
I was at about 10:30. I was waiting for my phone to go off. Hendricks to go, sorry, man, we traded you to LA for a second-round pick. Enjoy. AJ,
as long as it
Hollywood,
wasn't
Rob.
As long as it wasn't to Houston, we've got enough of that.
Yeah. What a night for the draft. Rashad Beard. We're going to get the old double dip, too, for Rashad's going to join us coming up at 9:30 this morning as the Carolina Panthers decided to go OL. How about nobody taking Malik last night? Kenny Pickett got taken at 20 by Pittsburgh, and nobody took Malik.
I am curious because I did not watch any of the ESPN coverage. Did ESPN continue? The green room setup was sweet, but did they continually show the people who didn't get drafted last night like they normally do? The NFL Network did not do that. So
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch it.
So I'm curious to those who did watch it because I saw some comments on Twitter about the ESPN coverage. So I'm curious about that.
I did not watch it. Last night, I went to we did that dinner last night.
You went to Georgia.
I went to the Georgian dinner. That would be the country, not the state. And a capi is what it's called. It's called a capi, and it's a traditional Georgian dinner. The big boss was there. Most of the sales department was there. Matt Man from the Rise Guys was there. He and I hung out and shared red wine together. Matt Man introduced me to his significant other, and he said, "This is Rob Brown. Rob Brown is the me of the sports station." And I was like, "Yo, hold up, what? I'm the you?" And he goes, yeah. You've got swagger, you've got style, you got a great beard, and you kind of run that side of the building. I was like, okay, I'll take it. But does that make you the Rob Brown of the Rise Guys? And he's like, fair play. I like that.
Yeah, that's more proof that he's probably right.
Yeah. So speaking of, starting next Thursday, because all it took to get this officially done, starting next Thursday, on Thursdays, we're going to be joined by Matt Man and 9 from the Rise Guys for the Wrestling with the Rise Guys segment, where we're just going to talk wrestling with those guys for a segment.
So what you're saying is I've been bumped. I no longer.
No.
Listen, I get it. I get it. You run things on this side of the building.
That's true, but no. He also said that he heard you talk about and give out your age on your show because he listens to Saturday Night. He listens to Upstate Pulse. And he said, I had no idea Lonzo was in his 50s.
That's a good thing.
That's a compliment.
Unless he thought, man, I thought he's at least 72.
We did that dinner.
So you give me a compliment, so I can just pass over the fact that I've lost my segment.
You didn't lose your. Oh my God, you're so dramatic. You're so dramatic.
We're gonna have to have negotiations after the show.
It's all right. Another segment.
It's all right. Your beard's fine.
It is. It really is. It looks good.
There's one thing though. There's a thing where you can't see
it's
it.
It's a gray hair.
It is. It's very noticeable.
Didn't need your help.
Well,
anyway,
you're gonna get some of that since you bumped my segment.
Did not. Okay. So we did this dinner. First off, if you're a wine guy like me, Georgian wine is
so you don't mean I don't know.
Not a whiner, a wine guy.
Okay.
I am a wine guy. Georgian wine is spectacular because they ferment it underground in these big clay jars. So it has a very different taste than any other wine I've ever had.
Is it earthy? Is it? I mean, I've heard these. I've never drank wine, but I've heard descriptions. So I'm curious.
It's different. It's more subdued, but not like it's the red. I'm a red guy. It's bold but more subdued. It is less. It's far less sweet. It doesn't really hang on the sweetness of the grapes. It's kind of got a more, the correct word is not dull, but I don't know how else to describe it. It's more of a laid back taste that emphasizes the, all of the notes that aren't sweet. It was phenomenal. Then, oh, and by the way, there was, Vaktung there was a man there yesterday from Georgia, right? From Georgia. And he's actually married. I didn't know this. To one of the girls that works downstairs in our, not sales, but like
promotions, traffic.
Yeah, she does she does all our communications with our corporate stuff. Stacy.
Okay.
Stacy's married to a guy named Vaktung. He's from Georgia. I didn't know this. So he's there and he's sitting across from me and the lady friend, and he's like giving us stuff, like information. He's like, in Georgia, we make this, and this is how this dish is made, and this is why we serve it this way, and we prepare it this way. And I walked out of there like, damn, I'm going to Georgia. Georgia's awesome. And Georgia, phenomenal food.
Is it a spicy food? Is it? I mean, what kind of food is it?
A lot of it was bread based. They had lamb, they had beef, they had pork, but a lot of the dishes were bread. They're like bread bowl, like a bread bowl.
Yeah. But
they cooked the food into the bread. So it would be like the different cheeses and let's see, one was a cheese base and then brie and then bacon, and it was all cooked into the bread. So you would pull a piece of bread off and you get brie and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. The best part was I sat down with Paige from the Rise Guys and her partner, Matt Man and his, me and the lady friend, Kristen from sales, our big Steve was there, Steve Senacrapi, Stace and her husband from Georgia, and then the guy from the restaurant who served as our Toastmaster. And when Lonzo and I got the email about it, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. Halfway through that, I'm like, my goodness, I am now BFFs with everybody at this table. It was amazing. So if you get the chance, it's called KP. It is a Georgian restaurant. It's at Hampton Station. If you want that experience, I highly suggest it, man. Highly suggest it.
I'm glad that you were able to bond with people. That's awesome, because that's not a normal thing. You're an introvert, and you normally have trouble, you can't connecting.
Put me in public. I'm very shy. I usually like to sit in the corner and be reserved. Phenomenal experience. If you ever get the chance to do it, do it. In fact, I'm gonna. You should. We're doing it again on Tuesday. You should come with us, though. You'd appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. It's genuinely a good time.
I'm already friends with all those people.
Fair enough. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to get into today. Rashad Beard's going to join us in about 20 minutes. We're going to talk to Rashad, his thoughts on the Panthers last night.
Icky, baby.
Yep. Take an offensive lineman. Did not trade up, did not reach for a quarterback, didn't have to.
I'm so excited about that pick. I hope Rashad is too.
I suspect he will be. I think Sean wanted an offensive lineman. I said I thought that Carolina would end up with a new quarterback on the roster by the end of last night. I didn't know if it would be a vet or a draft. They passed on drafting a QB, and it looks like it may have been a smart move. Malik dropped all the way out. Malik didn't even get drafted last night.
Yeah, on the NFL Network coverage immediately when they took the lineman, they started talking Baker Mayfield. So we'll see. And they said this plays into them getting Baker Mayfield on night 2.
I think it does.
We'll see.
I absolutely think it does. I think the fact that they went offensive lineman helps a little bit, right? I mean, again, if Baker even would agree, but I also think neither one of them is in full control.
Unless Tepper was telling the truth, and unless they all were telling the truth, and
Sam's the guy.
Sam's the man.
Run it back with Sammy D, which is a possibility. I mean, it's him or Baker at this point, right? Maybe Jimmy G.
Maybe Jimmy.
But the fact that they went tackle last night, the fact that they went offensive tackle last night leads me to believe that there's got to be something in play here. There's got to be something in play here.
And they don't have a second-round pick, do they? I don't think.
I believe you are correct.
So there's, if they had a second-round pick, they still would have a chance to pick up one of those guys because all the quarterbacks are left except for Pickett.
Except for Kenny Pickett. Came off the board to Pittsburgh towards the end of the night. What was it, number 20 overall, if I recall correctly? And, it was interesting, and I'll admit that I may have bought into this a bit. The hype around Malik really picked up like a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks out from the draft was when the hype started being built in for Malik. Kenny Pickett was widely considered the best quarterback until about 4 weeks ago. And that's when it started being the Malik show. Malik's the guy. And everybody kind of started to get into it. I think even Mel Kiper switched him. I think Kiper ending the college football season, Kiper had Kenny Pickett as his number one best available quarterback until like 4 weeks before the draft, and he flipped it and said, no, it's Malik now.
By the way, I just checked. The Panthers have no second-round pick.
I didn't think they did.
As of now, they have no second-round pick.
And that was also part of the reason I wondered if Carolina might trade down out of number 6, right? Pick up a second-rounder, pick up a third-rounder. And there were a lot of trades yesterday.
Oh, there were.
A lot of trades.
They made some good points last night about the fact that Kenny Pickett, it isn't like the coach couldn't just kind of like go down the hall and watch him play. So, who you got. If that guy's playing in your stadium and all that kind of stuff, you have access to him, not only what he can do on the field, but what he's doing off the field.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Nobody's going to be more familiar with Kenny Pickett than the Steelers. So it makes sense.
And Kenny Pickett would understand the aura that is the Pittsburgh Steelers and not be overawed by it.
Sucks to be Mitch Trubisky, though, doesn't it? Looked like you finally had your chance. I'm not saying Mitchell Trubisky's not going to start. In fact, I will probably say he starts week 1, but he puts back-to-back losses together at any point. Kenny Pickett's coming into play.
Did he get a signing bonus? I hope he got a signing bonus.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Yeah, so he's good.
Imagine being Mitch, thinking you finally found your spot. You're going to get it. It's going to be your year. You're doing it for an absolute franchise. And then they go, oh, and by the way, first-round quarterback.
I think anyone like Mitch Trubisky should look at Tyrod Taylor and be worried anytime he goes somewhere else. Because Tyrod's been everywhere and got supplanted everywhere he's went. So,
yeah, but Mitch, for a hot minute there, it felt like the league. Remember going into the draft, we talked about this. Everybody in the league was talking about Mitchell Trubisky at the draft. That was the report. The report was that at the combine. At the combine, everybody was talking about the fact that Mitchell Trubisky is talked about as a starter. Like as a genuine starter. And he shows up at Pittsburgh. He's like, yo, they consider me a starter. I'm finally at a franchise where I can be a starter. And now you drafted a quarterback.
Did you take that serious though? I
Yes.
thought that was the beginning of the combine is the beginning of
Smoke screen season?
yeah, without a doubt.
I bought into it. I really did. I bought into it. Like, Mitch is the guy. Mitch is going to get his chance, and maybe not.
As the experts were saying last night, Kenny Pickett has a good chance to beat out Mitch Trubisky. Shocker.
I mean, I think Mitch Trubisky starts week 1, but how about the Saints last night? Picked up your boy, Zoe.
To me, I love Garrett Wilson, but Olave was my favorite.
Best receiver in the draft?
In my opinion,
Yeah.
yes, I'm biased. I don't care.
I like what the Saints did last night.
You got some speed, you got some versatility, and you got another Buckeye. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the New Orleans Buckeyes, as we continue to add Ohio Staters into the mix. If Zoe ends up needing another team, half his college alum is playing in New Orleans now. Good pick up there. Didn't hate it. You got a guy with fantastic separation, good route running, tons of speed. What do you run at the combine? A 4.41? 4.4? Man, quickies you can ask for at that spot. And if you want slant god Mike Thomas on the other side to be successful, you got to have somebody to create separation. That's why they were talking with Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham.
By the way, Chris Olave ran a 4.39.
4.39. Perfect. Yeah.
You tried to act like he was slow or something.
No, I said a 4.4. I was almost on it.
4.4. You said 4.41. Come on, it's a 4.39.
4.39. Sorry, I shorted you those 0.02.
Hey, if you've ever seen someone run a sub 4.4,
It's blazing.
yes, it is.
It's blazing. I'll take him in the mix. Give me some depth to that offense. Let's go. I like it. All right. Texas says going ham at 9 a.m. You know what we do. I don't know what was getting talked about yesterday, but the last text from yesterday's show was Mark Ryan, the man who has faith in the team that hired Urban Meyer. I'm amazed, end quote. It's the last text that came into his show. Did anybody have faith that the Jaguars were going to do anything other than be the Jaguars?
You know, I don't want to disparage Mark because he was very active. I would never do that, by the way. He was very active last night on Twitter, which was cool.
Yeah.
But he seemed to be wrong a lot and unhappy a lot. It's like, is Mark Ryan now the Mel Kiper of the fan upstate?
He seemed to be wrong and unhappy a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. The draft experts always seem to be, well, you know, they picked the wrong thing. Has he taken on that thing? Well, you know, they're wrong because they should have picked who I thought they should have picked.
Yep,
That's what makes you an expert.
I've been thinking, I was talking to the boss last night, and he said
I'm going to get a strongly worded email.
Maybe. I was talking to the big boss last night, and he said that he is working on screen printing signs and hats and shirts with our individual show labels on them, right? Like with our show logos. And I told him, I said, I kind of want catchphrases on there, right? Like I want catchphrases. Like I want one logo that replaces the Rob Brown Show with the Sex Panther Show. I want one that says the Rob Brown Show going ham at 9 a.m. Now I want one that says offsides with Mark Ryan, wrong and unhappy a lot.
It doesn't have a ring to it. It doesn't.
Somebody
No,
just called him Mark Kuiper.
No, it's I'm not wrong, you're wrong. That should be his catchphrase.
That's not bad.
He would like that,
Yeah.
though.
Texas says, hey, Lord Palpatine, quit putting that bad juju on Zoe and trying to bring him to the dark side, a.k.a. New Orleans. He is a Panthers guy.
I am a Panthers guy in the NFC, and if you're watching on the stream right now, you know where my true alliances are.
Zoe came out hayseed out.
Well, I felt disappointed in me yesterday that I didn't do that. Yeah, so, and after finding out that Rashad said the head thing bothered him too, I'm like, you know, if Rashad can go through that pain, so can I.
Respect. Fan. Mark Kuiper. Mark Kuiper Jr.
By the way, if you tune into that show tonight, and you should listen all day, especially to our live shows. Make sure that you text in Mark Kuiper Jr. Make sure you put the junior on there as much as possible.
All right, let's run to a break. Come back here in just a minute. We'll take a look at how the draft shaped up, all 32 picks and what we thought about them. And then we'll talk Carolina draft grade when Rashad Beard of the Panther Nation podcast joins us in the segment after that. That's all coming up on the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate.
No. You can't go, I'm going. Or we both could go. Mark Hyper Jr.
All right, kids, we'll be right back. Give me just a minute, please, and thank you. It's very true, Steven, but you don't have to worry about that. We all know who really runs things. Nobody over here runs things. The big boss does. So I brought us back just so Rob can make an entrance because, you know. I can't believe that NFL GMs didn't listen to a local radio host opinions on picks after watching literal minutes of film.
It's going to come back on me. Stop. It's Friday. It's when people get let go.
Literal minutes of film.
Actually, he does a lot of work on that, and he has a lot of knowledge when it comes to all that stuff. I'm not kissing up. It won't do me any good. Plus, you know, he's not over me. So you can only kiss up to people who are over you. Or your spouse, who technically could be over you, depending on your situation.
I didn't intend to make the joke.
Hey,
Made, but he made the
why would you go there for? Well,
it's like why wouldn't I? I wasn't alone.
I thought you were going to go for some sort of Amber Heard kind of joke.
No.
No excrement in the bed joke, huh? I just want to say excrement.
Imagine going to court and having to say under oath, yes, Your Honor, I did poop in his bed.
But it was a prank.
To display dominance.
Lots of ways you can go with that.
Oh, Jacksonville. The best part is, we got done with the show yesterday, Lonzo. I'm sitting in the office, and my phone rings with the 904 number, which is Jacksonville. And I'm like, all right, I get a call from Jacksonville. I have to answer it, yeah? Like, I have to answer it. And I have to answer it because...
What's Urban up to?
Yeah. Like, it's one of three things.
Tea time with Tebow?
Tea time with Tebow. It's one of three things. It's either somebody from an old station calling to tell me something. It's a friend from Jack's telling me I got a new number. It's or it's sports related, or it's an ex or something. I don't know. But I'm not gonna answer. And I answer the phone. Is this Rob? Yes. Hey Rob, this is Stacy with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm like, why?
What?
Why? Why are you calling me? I said, yes, ma'am. Can I help you? Yeah, I was just wondering if you were planning on attending some Jags games with us this year. I was like, Stacy. And I wish I wish I'd have pushed record on this. It was on my cell phone, so I couldn't. I said, Stacy, there's no way for you to have known this. And I feel bad for this girl, but I couldn't help myself. I'm like, there's no way for you to have known this, Stace. But not only do I not live in Jacksonville anymore, but I hate your city and I hate your team. And she's like, oh, I'm very sorry. And I'm like, no, it's not your fault. I'm not mad at you.
Dude,
you're doing your job and I respect it. I said, you're doing your job and I respect it. I said, I hate the city. I hate the team. I absolutely should have, Lonzo, said, hey, Stacy, I don't live in Jacksonville anymore. Thank you, but no thank you. And that should have been it, but I couldn't help myself. I'm like, I hate your city. I hate your team. Not you, Stacy. I like you. Stacy, you're good people. You're just calling, trying to hype up your team, trying to pump some sales up, trying to get some people down there into whatever your stadium is named nowadays.
And that was when Stacy decided this job was not for her.
Yeah.
And she went home. All thanks to the mean Rob Brown.
No, listen, I was ultimately trying to save her, yeah? I was trying to save her. She doesn't need to waste her career working for the Jaguars. Do you want to go somewhere in your life? Because the only place you're going if you work for the Jaguars is London in 4 years when they move there. All right?
I'm sure. All right, I'm kind of sure that there are people who live there who love there.
Oh, I know like 3 of them.
Okay.
And I'll never understand it. Jacksonville sucks. It's the armpit of America. It's the worst city. It's not even a city. It's like 7 crappy towns all stuck into each other. It's bad. And the Jags are bad, and they should feel bad. It's just that simple. Like, Stace, I don't live there anymore. I hate Jacksonville. I hate your team. Not you. I respect you and what you're doing, but you can go ahead and take me off the call list. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I will do that. Not mad at you, Stacy. You seem like a great person.
The fact that you were on the call list at some point, I mean, why
Somebody put me on that as a prank.
Why were you on the list?
Somebody put me on that list as a prank. Somebody was like, haha, there are 2 lists that I'm on. I am on a particular politician of whom I'm not a fan's text list. I get text from that politician all the time. It's probably not who you think it is.
So it's not DeSantis.
No.
Okay.
No. I get text, like a lot of texts from that politician all the time. And somebody put me on to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's not Hillary Clinton and you're afraid to get off the list because you never know what might happen.
I'm not trying to get slept, as the kids say. Correct. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, Rashad Beard of the Panther Nation podcast is going to join us on the radio broadcast. We will talk about Carolina's draft last night. They pick up an offensive tackle at 6th overall. Nothing to do today. So what's the rest of the weekend shape up like for the Panthers? We'll ask Rashad when we come back on the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate.
People are now concerned about Stacy, and they should be. You're heartless. No, Stacy.
I didn't say it like that.
By the way, Stacy, what's your mom look like?
She's got it going on. Was that man Fountains of Wayne?
Fountains of Wayne. I think the lead singer died like last year or something like that. I believe.
I think you're right. I do remember that.
You send Rashad up. Never mind. There he is.
Up, guys.
I took your advice. I figured if you could suffer through it, so can I. Why not?
That's funny.
What's up, fella?
What's going on?
Rob is contractually obligated to wear a fan hat, so, you know.
Not true. It matches the look. Look. I go all the way down to the kicks matching, son.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, God, Lonzo, get your feet off the desk. You're wearing flip-flops.
No, there's slides, but I can come around there and show you closer if you like.
No, you can't.
Rob hates feet. I don't know.
I don't hate feet.
It's just not
Rashad,
not a feet guy.
Somebody rolls up into your office and puts their bare ass feet on your desk. What's your reaction?
Yeah. I'm not down with that either.
Thank you.
By the way, I've never seen anyone do that to your desk.
You damn right you haven't.
Right. So,
You'll catch a broke toe.
If I already got one of those, but if I want to do that to my desk, that's my business. If I want to walk around this building barefooted, I will not be chastised except from you and Chris Evans because you people are weird and think you eat off your feet or something. I don't get it. I showered this morning.
The other thing is...
You want to smell my toes?
No, Lonzo. I want you to stop talking about feet, Rex Ryan.
Why you got to go that way? Feet are perfectly acceptable. Without your feet, how you getting around? See, that's true disdain right there. He absolutely hates feet. He hates feet.
It is.
To the point, there's color in his face right now. I find things that people don't like and then I exploit them. I don't know. It's a character flaw.
I still don't get what the Ravens were doing. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, Ravens were bugging last night.
Like, were you intentionally trying to tick off Lamar? Because congratulations.
Maybe they realize the Lamar thing ain't working, so they're going to make him unhappy. And he
would have had 1,000 yards last year.
When's the last championship he won? They've won championships there or a championship there with a lesser quarterback. I'm just saying. I don't know.
They had a great defense too.
They absolutely did. Yeah.
Lamar basically has to put the team on his back.
Yep.
Yes, Steven. Feet are Rob's kryptonite, without a doubt. So do not send him pictures of feet with fungus coming out the toes, or do not do that.
Listen. I know you think you're being funny right now, Lonzo.
Oh, I am being funny,
No.
but it's.
I need you to stop.
That's fine. Okay. All right.
If I get
out of respect for our
asked
friendship, I will stop.
If I get what you just asked for in my email inbox, I'm coming for you.
Well, you know where I am. You gonna give me a chance to turn around, or you gonna hit me from behind?
Yes.
Unless you're bringing one of those mini bats in there, I'm good. No, don't do that, Steven. Don't do that. I think a lot of times you show that you put up a front like you don't like something, but secretly it's really your thing. Probably not the case this time, though. I'm going to stop.
I have chastised you off the air for your. I'm done. I'm not talking about feet anymore. I'm trying to do a damn sports radio show here.
An award-winning one. And you're doing a fine job. You are. Because you run this place.
No, he said this side.
Yeah, this side. You know, Rob, like a lot of people in radio, I can't tell if he's really upset or not. So I guess I'll find out later. Whereas if I'm mad, you know I'm mad.
Correct.
This guy, I can't hide it. When I get mad, I use big words. Clarity.
I'm the opposite. I get quiet.
Don't do that now because we're coming back.
The Rob Brown Show back on your radio. It is The Fan Upstate. Rob and Lonzo with you on a gorgeous Upstate Friday afternoon. And day 2 of the National Football League draft. We put day number 1 in the books yesterday evening. Going to break it down from the perspective of your Carolina Panthers. We are joined now, of course, by one half of the Panther Nation podcast, usually with us on Thursdays, but we're double dipping today because it's the NFL draft. My guy, Rashad Beard, hanging in with us. What up, Shad?
What up? What up? It's a great day. It's a great day for Panther Nation.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's not a great day to be Lamar, but listen, I got to talk Panthers. We're going to talk Panthers. But Rashad, what the hell was that? Why are you sending a 1,000-yard receiver away from your quarterback who clearly wants him there? What are you doing, Baltimore?
Yeah, I don't know what Baltimore's doing. You got to give your MVP quarterback some weapons. They're doing nothing but strip them away and putting more pressure on Lamar Jackson, and he's frustrated, as he should be. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, man. No clue.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. Well, let's talk Carolina, and we'll start with this. Did not trade. Stayed at 6. Decided to stay at 6. Ended up getting one of the names that you wanted to see drop there. We were looking at the potential for an offensive lineman. We did not see one come off the board before Carolina got their opportunity to draft. So basically, all 3 of the tackles were there, and Akeem Ekwonu was ultimately the pick. Shot, what you grade out on just that pick?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely a pick, and I think it fits. If you're listening to what the coaches are saying, they want to run the football. Icky is a really, really, really good run blocking tackle. Panther Nation has him penciled in at left tackle. I say not so fast because I think he can play inside and out. They're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with Brady Christensen and let them battle it out and see who can win the left tackle position. But either way, this is a really good problem to have for the Carolina Panthers. We have not had an offensive line on paper this good in a long, 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 long time. And so we finally addressed it. We haven't taken a quarterback in the first round since Jeff Otah back in 2008, and it's just ridiculous. So we finally did it, and I love the pick, A-plus pick for the Carolina Panthers. And they felt, Icky was one of the top guys. When you're talking about potential number 1 overall guy, and he fell to us at 6. I love it. Didn't get an opportunity to trade back. According to Scott Fitter, there was no trade opportunities available with the cornerbacks going. And so, they took the best guy, and according to their board, he was it. And I like it. Love the pick.
So talk to me about why, right? Because I looked at, I honestly thought Evan Neal was going to come off the board first, whether it was to Carolina or somebody ahead of them, because of the versatility, right? He is a guy that played left guard, right tackle, left tackle over the last 3 seasons, can bounce around. He talked about the ability to be versatile across the line. Evan Neal has literally already done that and comes from a school that has cranked out productive players over the years. So why did Icky get ahead of Neal on the Carolina draft board? What are your thoughts?
I just think that it's that power run. Like he is like Icky has some nasty film. Like when you turn on the film, this dude is literally tossing dudes like into the sidelines. Like he is a nasty individual, and I think he's a tone setter. I think that Evan Neal, while great, I'm with you. Everything you just said was 100% accurate, and obviously those medical concerns came up too. Not sure where he fell and how the Panthers graded out that medical, but that could have been an issue. But I just think with what they've been saying in regards to Icky, I feel like and the run game, I feel like he is the best fit for them if they're going to run the football. If they're going to power run and they're going to be a power run football team, Icky is the best tackle for that, in my opinion. Now, like I said earlier, it's going to depend how they, because again, Icky has that flexibility to move inside too. He played guard as well. So they were both right there. I mean, you're talking 1A, 1B. And so again, if the medicals didn't pan out for Neal, then Icky has to be the guy. And I both of them, in my opinion, are about as can't miss as you can get. So I'm happy with either one of them, and we got Icky, so I'm cool with it.
Rashad Beard, half of the Panther Nation podcast, which you can hear on YouTube. Make sure you go there and subscribe to that channel. Phenomenal stuff. He joins us usually every Thursday, but we're double dipping today, talking a little bit on a Friday about the draft. So we went in yesterday, Rashad, and I said, to me, I thought there was a better than zero chance that Carolina would end the day with a new quarterback on the roster, be it via the draft or grabbing a vet. They end up taking an offensive lineman at 6. They do not trade back. As you mentioned, Fitterer said there was no opportunity to trade back. Nobody was looking to jump up to 6, which makes sense at that point. There was not the run on quarterback. We wondered if it was going to happen. Plenty of wide receiver talent. The offensive linemen, all 3 of them were available there, so there was no need to jump to 6 because you were going to see those guys available till at least 9. Knowing that there was no ability to pick up draft capital in that spot, what does the rest of the weekend shape up for the Panthers with no pick on the clock today?
It's very, very interesting. Now, this is going to be I know we don't have any picks today, but you have to pay attention because there are 4 quarterbacks still on the board, right? Willis is still there, Ritter's still there, Howell's still there, and who else? Corral. They're all still there. So it's not going to cost you as much to move up. And I don't know. I think they have to be fluid. We heard Scott Fitterer say that they don't intend to jump back in, but they're also going to be watching. They have to pay attention to what's going on. And if one of those guys slips into the 3rd round, you almost have to take one. And I feel like if we can walk away with one of those names in this draft, like that would be an ultimate win, right? You addressed the 2 biggest holes on this roster in the draft, and while you won't get the immediate production from one of those quarterbacks, you have somebody to develop, and I think that's going to be a huge win for the Carolina Panthers if we can get one of those quarterbacks. Now, I'm not pressed to do it. Like I said, again, Fitterer has said I don't want to touch the future draft capital, so he said I don't want to touch it, but I don't think it's off the table if the right guy falls. So it's really fluid. I'm really intrigued to watch. Another thing to watch is linebacker. We also need a middle linebacker as well. So keep an eye on the middle linebackers. There's still a lot of linebackers out there. Chad Muma, Troy Anderson. There's a lot of good linebacker play out there still on the board. Beavers. So I'm watching to see what linebackers fall if we can grab a quarterback. But I feel like the Panthers are in good shape, even though we don't have a day 2 pick.
I was intrigued by the fact that the quarterbacks have fallen, especially the number of quarterbacks that have fallen and Malik being up there, right? Like yesterday, we were talking about, is it too early to take Malik at 6? Malik's a 2nd-round guy. Now, at the same time, we've seen a lot of draft experts say in any other year, Malik's a 2nd-round guy. But there's just no quarterbacks this year, which may force him up into the 1st. If you are sitting there this evening, and let's say we get to pick number 50, and Malik's on the board still, Sam Howell out of North Carolina on the board still. Matt Corral out of Ole Miss still on the board. What does it take? What is, and you mentioned, Fitterer said, I don't want to touch down the road draft picks. I want to leave them in play. But what does a jump up into the second round for a quarterback look like for Carolina? How much are you willing to put out there for what you and I both agree at this point is a project quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would have to look at the calculators to see what it would take, because I have no idea. I don't know if it's going to be, a fourth and a fifth. We do have 2 fifth-round picks, so I don't know. That's obviously not going to get you a second-round pick. You're going to have to add more to that. I think you're going to have to dip into future draft capital just because we don't have a third-round pick. Because if we had a third-round pick, you can potentially package a third and a fifth or something like that to move up, but we don't have that. So I think you're almost going to have to tap in to the 2023 picks to get a guy. But again, 4 of them are still available. I'm almost saying, hey, let's wait. Let's see what happens in the third round. Because guess what? There was another guy that Scott Fitterer was connected to that went in the third round in Seattle. Can we just wait on it? Maybe potentially grab us a Russell Wilson type quarterback. I don't know. Can we? I think we just got to be patient. If we're patient, I think the quarterback might fall to us. There's 4 guys. Not all the teams need a quarterback at the top. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Rashad Beer from the Panther Nation podcast joining us here on the Rob Brown Show. Usually hangs out with us on Thursdays, but we double dip this week to talk a little NFL draft. So you mentioned a couple of 5th rounders. Nothing going on today. What do you want to see the Panthers address with the late round picks? And obviously late round, you can be a little more experimental. You might stumble into a Marcus Colston, a Tom Brady, who knows. What do you want to see the Panthers doing with the late round picks as development projects?
Yeah, I think for sure we need to target a middle linebacker. That's up there. If I can get a project linebacker, maybe a guy like Brandon Smith out of Penn State, who's super athletic. If we can get somebody like him, or maybe a Smoke Monday, who is a safety, we can add safety depth. So I'm looking at safety. I'm looking at middle linebacker. I'm looking at offensive guard, interior guys. We still got work to do. This roster needs depth, especially on the offensive line. We've done a great job. The starters are pretty much set, but we can add some depth, get rid of Pat Eflin and Cam Irving. Let's get some youth in there and get some real talent out of the draft. So I love it. I feel good about this draft, man. And again, if you listen to what Phil Snow said, we got to add an edge rusher, add a linebacker, and add a safety. If we can add those, add it all 3 levels of the defense, I think we'll be fine. And I think we can do that in this draft. This draft is deep, especially at the offensive line. Is deep at safety, at in the secondary. So I love it. I think we can get some more done.
I gotta say, we had a positive Rashad sighting about 6 weeks ago. It kind of leveled out. It's been down. It's been middle of the pack. Positive Shad showed up for draft coverage. I like it.
Yeah. It's a lot to be. I'm happy. I mean, because we're not forcing anything. We're not trading away future draft capital to go on a project quarterback. It hasn't happened yet, anyway. Free agency still exists, or not free agency, excuse me, but we can still go after Jimmy G and Baker. That's a whole nother topic. But the way this draft is falling is perfect for the Carolina Panthers. The way that the top 5 fell, it was perfect for the Carolina Panthers. So all we have to do is just be patient. If we're patient, I think we'll be fine. I just don't want us to get too happy or get too aggressive in going out to get a quarterback. If we just sit back, let it fall to us, good things could happen. So I'm positive. And I like what Scott Fitterer is saying. I love the message. He's like the only guy I want to hear speak from the Carolina Panthers because he's the only one that makes sense. He's the only one that seems to have a brain. He thinks he has level-headed. He's very level-headed. And I love Scott Fitterer, man. I'm a fan. Shout out to Scott Fitterer, co-signed by PNP. We love Scott Fitterer. He's doing a good job. Good job drafting so far.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Not only positive Shad, but he's dishing out superlatives for his GM. What a day. What a day. Yeah. I love it. Rashad Beard, host the Panther Nation podcast. Make sure you subscribe to them on YouTube. They got some phenomenal stuff for you. You can also follow them on Twitter at Panther Nation PC. Rashad, my guy, always good to talk to you, buddy. Appreciate you doing the double dip with us. We'll get you back on next Thursday and do an overall grade, my man.
Let's do it. I'm down. A+, I hope.
A+.
Finish strong. Finish strong, Scott.
Beard
Finish
joining
strong.
us here on the show. I love it. I like having positive shot on the show. I like that the Carolina Panthers fans have something good going in this draft. I agree with him. It was a great overall first pick. It's set up for them to have pick of the litter as it goes with offensive linemen. And it sets up with the quarterbacks falling down because there might be value there. Rashad pointed out they don't want to touch the future picks. But if you get a guy like Malik who's fallen down towards the end of the second round, the future pick is a quarterback, right? So why not give it a shot? All right. We have got a lot more coming up in the next hour. Thanks again to Rashad Beard for joining us on the show. We will catch him next Thursday at 9:30, and we will do a full draft review. Appreciate it, Shad. We've also got coming up in the next hour, we have got NBA review. Playoffs last night. My Pelicans, Dunzo, gave it a run. Gave it as good of a run as they could, but ultimately, Chris Paul just could not miss last night. CP3 just could not miss last night. I like the guy, right? Like, if it can't be my guys, I'll pull for Chris Paul.
I will always, since I was chastised on the air by another host for picking Chris Paul as one of the guys we were picking the best starting team at the time.
And you were chastised for picking Chris Paul?
I was told he was washed up. He was done. That was the worst pick that they had ever heard before. And, yeah, they were wrong.
Who would say that about Point God? That's Point God right there.
We both know who it is.
Damn it, Diesel. Stop pretending like you know what you're talking about. CP3 washed up. What he said, all he did last night was set a playoff record for most field goals without a miss in a playoff game. NBD. Point God's going back to the finals, it looks like. Although, my Pels gave him a little grief. Texas said Chris Paul literally could miss 14 of 40. Was he 14 of 14 from the floor? Yeah, he's washed those, though. He's washed. Just knocking down 14 of 14 from the floor in a playoff game. In an elimination game.
Old, has been.
Yeah. Washed. I'm pulling for Chris Paul. I like Chris Paul. I hope CP3 gets it. All right, let's take a break. Come back. We'll get some of that. Got to set up your weekend preview in sports, and Fanboy Friday makes its triumphant return in the final hour of the show. I know it's been a while. We've been busy. What do you want? I'm the Sex Panther. He's the great one. This is the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate. Ah, 14 of 14 from the floor for a point guard. Yowza.
Not bad for an old guy.
Not bad for a washed up point guard, huh? $14 of 14 from the floor. CP3. Bingo. I swore that he just said Borderlands, and I thought he said Florida Man Comics and Games. And I was like, what is that store going to be like?
Don't you do that.
Florida Man. I got my Florida Man story last night of a 74-year-old man living on a golf course who went out and shot a guy for walking his dog on his on the golf course. You saw that?
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
Golly. Everybody knows what a helmet sticker is, right? Like, we haven't lost the concept of the helmet sticker, have we?
No, especially on a sports station.
Yeah.
Primarily football. I mean, yeah, they know what that is. If they don't, meet me in the hallway and I'll show them. You ever thought,
Not really.
can I actually put someone through a wall? Have you ever thought of that before? I mean, some of these walls are pretty
I
thin.
am now. I'm thinking about it now.
Do you have enough force within you and know how to apply it in the right way to put someone through a wall?
Texter says, please do not refer to yourself as Sex Panther anymore, as we all know that the real Sex Panther has a foot fetish now. Oh, I pull this shit. The Hornets should have taken a chance on point guard. Yup. Saw Ron Burgundy's improper teleprompter game at a store yesterday. Maybe a hot take, but Walker was a reach at one. If anyone from Georgia was to go first, it's Jordan Davis, a true freak. Jordan commanded a double team every single play. Yes. The problem with Jordan Davis was Jordan Davis could play about 6 plays and then get winded, right? We saw that in the championship game. I saw it in both playoff games. Jordan Davis would run a handful of plays and then he'd just be absolutely gassed. And that's not a great look in an NFL draft profile.
Except for, in order to win a national championship, you would have beaten your rival the last game in order to get into the national championship game.
The question was, would you give up the women's national championship in basketball to beat
No,
Clemson in
that's
football?
just.
They got an overwhelming no and then said, we know you said no, but the answer is yes, you would. Números of the Rob Brown Show goes now. This is the fan upstate. Hello, upstate South Carolina. What up, America? Howdy, world. Great to be back with you on a Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. My name is Rob Brown. Seated directly across from me on the other side of the glass, both literally and metaphorically, a glass which desperately needs to be cleaned at this point. He is the professor of perfection. He is the sultan of swag. He is hashtag Dad Kicks Colonel Grudge, the alpha and the omega of the fan upstate, the great one, Lonzo. Five Georgia defensive players going in the first round. 5. And everybody thinks Georgia's making a run back to the title next year. Not when you lose 5 first-round defenders.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of guys. It is.
5.
I noticed something last night while watching the draft. The huggers were good after they got their pick, which is all for show anyway.
Yep.
But the fist bumps looked awkward. They did. They absolutely did. I think most of it was for Dallas, but they looked really awkward. It was kind of like it was old guys not sure what to do. And it was, and I thought of you about that because you think fist bump is the way that.
Fist bump's the way.
Yeah.
This is the way.
I don't know.
Fist bump is the way.
It looked really awkward last night.
I mean,
when you watch tonight, just see the reactions of the war rooms. The hugs, I'm fine with. I mean, because those look genuine. But the fist bumps, it looked like a bunch of old guys that thought they were trying to be cool.
I want to do an experiment real quick. And if it happens, it's going to make my day. If it doesn't, I'll embarrass myself. But if you are currently parking a fruit and vegetable delivery truck at the building next door, just turn to your left and wave. Turn to your left and wave. No, it's not. That's one.
No, but there's a delay. You got to give it.
That's true. There's like an 8-second delay.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
He's got his radio off. He's getting out.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't know if he was a produce deliverer or not.
What do you mean? It's on the truck.
No, I'm talking about the guy that you're talking about.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, who says he comes in all the time. Although
No, not him. No, I just want to see. Now, at this point, I just assume every delivery truck driver is listening to us.
And you should, but
Yeah.
he had already turned his radio off. You could tell because he had his paperwork out and he's doing his thing.
5 defensive players for the Georgia Bulldogs gone in the first round. 5.
Now other teams. Now you see that happen to Alabama. You're like, yeah, Alabama's fine. You see that happen to Ohio State. Yeah, they're probably fine. You see it happen to certain teams. You think they're probably fine.
Georgia in that upper echelon.
But I don't know if Georgia's there yet.
I don't either.
And it's got to be concerned if you are a Georgia fan, seeing all those guys go. I mean, it's also cool that you had that caliber of player that they're all getting drafted in the first round, but they all just got drafted in the first round.
Yeah. It's awesome you've got that many guys in the first round. It's also terrible for you that you had that many go in the first round. Show what an absolute stud of a defense. By the way, can I just say real quick that the fist bumps, of course, they look awkward because we are trying to get those of you that are handshakers to catch on to the fist bump now. We're trying to move on. We're trying to progress here. We're trying to become a better society. We're trying to become a fist bump society.
I'm not sure I want to conform and be a part of this we.
Right, and that's why the fist bumps are awkward because those of us that are, forward thinking are trying to create the fist bump momentum here, and there's guys like you that we go for the bump, you go for the handshake, and it creates that very awkward moment in the middle.
I doubt the sincerity, but if you come in strong with the bump and someone comes in with the handshake, some fingers are going to get broke, so you need to be careful with that.
Another great reason to be the dude bringing the fist bump. There's no threat in a fist bump. You can't get hurt doing a fist bump.
Unless you're Kenny Pickett. How'd that work out? His little fist bump. He's the only quarterback went in the first round.
The old baby fist bump. Kenny Pickett's tiny hands, which is 100% going to be somebody in your fantasy league's team name this year. Kenny Pickett's tiny hands. Look, the fist bump is the way to go. The fist bump is the way to go. The fist bump needs to replace. Good Lord, Penny Kenny Pickett's girlfriend is a smoke show, but if that dress was any shorter that she decided to go with last night, Victoria would have been out of secrets. My goodness. I mean, she was a cutie, but good Lord, you're on TV, woman. Careful. Careful. Good for Kenny Pickett, though. Now he's a first-round draft pick going to Pittsburgh. Only quarterback in the first round was Kenny Pickett. We had an exorbitant amount of quarterback discussion this week, Lonzo. We talked Malik. We talked Matt Corral. We talked Kenny Pickett. We talked every set. We talked who's the other alleged first rounder we were talking about. Now I'm blanking, but we talked to all the quarterbacks.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong, contrarian of me, that I want the draft experts to be wrong a bunch? And I shouldn't feel that way because that's their jobs. That's what they do. And in the end, it shows how really they're looking at the data and they're still guessing. They're guessing because they're not in the war rooms. They don't know what each individual team is actually going to do. And if a lot of times they're given false information just to throw them off. Is it wrong of me to be happy when Mel Kiper's wrong?
No. No, it's not.
I mean, dude has made a good living off of doing
Mel
this.
Kiper could be wrong 32 of 32 times, which he almost was last night, by the way. I think the only one that he did get was Kenny Pickett to the Steelers. I think he's the only one he got. But, no, it's like I root against the weather guy too, right? It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. I don't know why I do it. I've met most of the weather guys around this area. They're all exceptionally nice guys and gals. Most of them are exceptionally nice. But when they come on and like, it's going to rain this afternoon, I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Well, the first overall pick's going to be this guy. No, it's not. I don't know why. I can't help it. It's nothing I don't have any issue with Mel Kiper Jr. I think I get frustrated with people who are overconfident in situations, right? That's it. I don't know why. Maybe because I can't be. Like you'll notice, I did not give a full first round mock. I gave some picks for each team that would make sense. But I don't have the confidence to go, here is the mock draft. It's not in me. And on top of that, it wouldn't have mattered because there were 1,000 trades last night.
I used to do on-air draft specials every year for like, I don't know, a decade or something like that.
Sure.
And I would not say, this is who they're going to pick. I would say, this is who I think they should pick. And some of these guys are like, this is who they're going to pick, and if they don't, they're wrong.
Seb says fist bump society equals flat earthers. No. Don't you lump me in there with Kyrie. Fist bump equals flat earth. What are you talking about?
By the way, you know, Kyrie's a fist bumper, so that makes you also a flat earther. That's how that works, right?
I'm done with y'all. And Seb.
It's like lumping everybody from a political standpoint into the same thing, you know, because one of them believes this, everyone believes it. That doesn't, you look like you're doing Wonder Twins right there.
Activate. Fist bump, team fist bump. So the Jags take Trayvon Walker, the defensive end from Georgia overall, in a move that nobody gets. Nobody understood this one. Basically, what it comes down to is that he's big. He's big. He had the longest arms in the draft. He's big. He's going to be a run stuff. Do you need a run stuffer though? Right? Like if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, do you need a run stuffing defensive end? No, that's why everybody went Aiden Hutchinson first. Guy with a pass rush. That's why a lot of people thought Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon was going to be the guy. Outstanding pass rusher. The Jags went with a defensive end that's good against the run with the number 1 overall pick. Why? Why?
The Jazz pick number one. The Jaguars pick number one almost every year. They haven't gotten it right yet, have they? I mean, you could say that with the hair, but he didn't translate so well, and you could blame it on the coaching and everything. We'll see what he does this year. But why did you expect them to do? I mean, so if they went with the guy from Michigan, would you be happy right now?
Here is I'd be happier. Because if you're going to get a defensive end, why are you going to get a run-stuffing defensive end? Why would you not get a pass rusher?
Would you have been nicer to Stacy if they would have picked?
Maybe. No, she called before the draft.
Okay.
I feel like I have to call back and apologize to Stacy. I was unnecessarily.
You won't find Stacy unless it's like saved in your phone, and it might be somebody else.
I got the number they called from.
Yeah.
And it was like it wasn't like it didn't pop up as Jacksonville Jaguars on my call ID. I'd have been much meaner if it did. And I told Stacy, I said, this is nothing against you, Stacy. I just hate the place that you live and the people you work for. Not you. I just hate your city and everyone around you.
It is amazing how the bottom of the NFL
Jacksonville
routinely stays the bottom of the NFL with all the number one picks they get.
Here's the number one picks from the Jags. Last year, Trevor and Travis. We have no idea if Travis Etienne's worked out yet or not.
Yeah, because he went down with an injury, and I don't know if him being healthy all year would have translated into any wins or not. We don't know.
We don't know. And Trevor got cursed with being under Urban Meyer.
It's not Urban Meyer. It's Trevor was not ready for the NFL. Will he ever be?
Trevor
I'm
Lawrence
protected by my chips.
Got screwed by having to play for Urban Meyer. All right? It is what it is.
No, he got screwed because he went to Jacksonville. It's not going to matter.
Yeah, who hired Urban Meyer?
So the new guy, whoever that may be,
Doug Peterson,
who will last for 2 years, is he going to do better? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, Doug Peterson has a Super Bowl.
He does. Then he was let go.
Yeah, but there was a lot of questionable decision making there too.
By him or by them?
Yes. Trevor and Travis last year. Year before that, they took C.J. Henderson, the cornerback from Florida, and K'Lavon Chason, the linebacker out of LSU. Henderson has been okay. Chason has been a disappointment. So through their last 4 first-round picks, Trevor, ? Travis, injury. K'Lavon Chason out of LSU, disappointment. C.J. Henderson, okay. 2019, they took Josh Allen, a defensive end from Kentucky, who I believe made 1 Pro Bowl. I believe made the Pro Bowl.
I think he's been a decent pick.
Okay, so you go back to...
But he's not enough to win games for you.
Correct. So you add another defensive end but one that can't rush the passer? What are you doing, Jacksonville? I don't need to do a whole segment on why Jacksonville sucks. Y'all know. Texture says, nobody is more... I'm not going to throw the weather guy under the bus, but he said nobody is more wrong than weather folks predicting snow anytime the temperature goes under 50. I have noticed that. Y'all call for a lot of snow. It snows what? 1 day a year, 2 days a year here? Maybe.
Well,
but every one of the 2 years I've been here, it's like as soon as temps threaten the 40s, every weather dude in the hood is like, uh-oh, snow's coming. It just rains cold a little bit. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Rob, fist bump is only even considered acceptable because of the pandemic. It will go away just as fast as it appears. #handshakes. No, the fist bump's here to stay, kids. Because it's quick. I'm in. Boop, I'm out.
All right. So the fist bumps last night, and I believe it was mostly Dallas. I think it's we're on TV. Are we allowed to shake hands anymore? Kind of thing. Don't want to, any blowback. So
what blowback? Everybody in that building was maskless and hugging. Nobody cares anymore.
Exactly.
Let's be real. Nobody cares anymore.
Exactly.
Even the people who care Don't care anymore.
I think there was awkwardness for that reason, which goes along to the texter's point.
You know what happens with a handshake? Do you want to know why you are team? Oh, scratch that. Why I am team fist bump over handshake? Because you know what the dumbest thing is, and I'm so tired of it. Every handshake between dudes becoming a bro off. It becomes a stature fight. Who's going to apply more pressure? I had a guy I used to work for who did this thing, and it used to peeve me. So when you'd shake his hand, he would do that thing where he rotates the handshake so that his hand is on top of yours, and then he shakes it sideways so that you know his hand is on top. I don't need to get into a freaking...
You could have solved that real easy. All you had to do is put your free hand and just stroke the top of his hand. He never would have did it again.
See, I'm not trying to play these games, dude.
Why? It's fun.
I'm not trying to play these games.
It's absolutely fun.
Just give me the handshake. One up.
All right,
one
so
down, we're done.
So Steve from downstairs, we'll call him Steve from downstairs, who
Just making up a name here.
We'll go with Steve. It's a good name. Comes up and puts his hand out to shake your hand. Are you shaking it wimpily, or are you gonna go with the power if he comes with it?
No, absolutely
not too much, because Steve could be in a position to go. You squeeze my hand too hard. I'm sorry. Good luck with your future endeavors.
You're fired. I have a default handshake strength, right? Like I know what I fall into because I'm not gonna dead fish you, right? There's nothing worse. I met a very prominent U.S. politician who is now a senator a number of years ago when I was in the TV news, Lonzo, and I went to shake his hand, and he gave me the dead fish handshake, you know, where he just puts his hand in, but doesn't he just puts his hand in your hand?
Was his hands really cold?
Yes.
Okay, so he's near.
Pretty sure he's dead.
He's near death then. So,
I mean, he's not dead. He's in the Senate, but I'm pretty sure he is dead.
Well, some
I've
of those
referred
guys,
to him as Skeletor multiple times.
Some of those guys look dead. I agree.
This one does. He gave me the limit. So you get. I have a default level of handshake squeeze, and then once if you go more than that, then I'm going to match you. But see, this is what I'm talking about. I want to get rid of this. I don't need to sit here and have to open our dialogue with a mental chess match about a damn handshake. Can we just fist bump and get on to the conversation, please? Sup. Let's talk business.
Yeah, fist bump's the same thing. You just hit yourself pretty hard. How hard of a fist bump do you do?
You don't.
So if you go up with
it's not a fist punch. It's a bump.
What's the difference between a bump and a punch?
The wind up.
Okay.
Fist bump. That's it. And it's over.
Stop punching the equipment.
Stop getting me heated about fist bumps. Team fist bump forever. All right. Well, I've killed that segment. When we come back, we take a look down the rest of the first round. So far, we've made it to Jacksonville. But it did give me the opportunity to dump on Jacksonville for a minute, so I'll take it. When we come back, we'll take a look at 2 through 5, as well as Carolina's pick at 6. And we'll grade them out, because that's what we do. We win awards, so we'll hand some out. Draft superlatives when we come back. I'm Rob, he's Lonzo. This is the Fan Upstate.
Prisma.
So, my friends at Prisma Health right here in the Upstate. Prisma Health is the official healthcare provider of the Tigers, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks. And there's a reason why for both. That reason why is very simple. That reason is because they are very trustworthy. What do I mean by trustworthy? I mean that if you find yourself
You know, if I were to sum up the show today, I would call it Fish Bumps and Feet.
Podcast title, eh? It actually said, what did we learn in class today, Fran? A, Rob hates Jacksonville. B, Rob hates feet. And C, Rob hates Stacy.
Such a hater, man.
I'm really not.
Oh, you're a pacifist. You're just all angry.
Aiden Hutchinson, widely considered to be the number 1 overall pick to Jacksonville, was not. He goes number 2 to Detroit. Considered the best player in this draft by most of the draft strategists that I was following along with. I'm not shocked by that. The only thing I'm shocked, I honestly, I thought Detroit might have traded down there. I thought Detroit might have traded down. There were going to be some teams that would want to jump up there and grab this guy. But he is, by all accounts, an elite player.
No, I hated that guy in the right way because as a Buckeye fan, of course, you hate the Michigan guy. He looks like someone who will do things right away in the NFL. Yep. And I kind of felt bad that he went to Detroit. You know, I mean, you can stand out in Detroit, but you're still in Detroit.
14 sacks for the kid. And, you know, again, Detroit was smart here because they could have leaned into and been talked into starting the QB run, and they avoided it, right? They could have been the team that got suckered into going to a QB way too early, but they didn't. They took the best guy on the board. You know, the whole need versus best player available discussion, right? Every radio host has it every year, and it's a fair conversation to have. Do you take the best player available on the board, or do you take the best player at a position that you need to fill? I'm a need guy, right? I'm a need guy. I understand wanting the best player, but at the end of the day, if I got 3 guys playing that position pretty well, and I got this spot over here that's wide open, yeah, I'm going to take the guy that fills that hole. Of course.
I think you said it perfectly. You take the best guy for your position of need.
Yeah.
This best player thing, what good does it do you? This guy's really good, but as you said, you got 3 or 4 of those guys. Unless it's defensive line rotation where you're constantly bringing guys in, I get that kind of. But, you know, somewhere, bring in the guy you need. Make your team better by filling the hole that needs to be filled.
I take the best guy available at a position that I need. And that's not to say you might not. I mean, you may have 3 positions you need to fill, right? Carolina needed to fill offensive line. They needed to fill linebacker. And they probably need to fill, safety? When their next pick comes up, I'm going to take the best player available at one of those 3 spots. Hopefully there's good value in it. Anyway, that's what Detroit did. They needed somebody. Scratch that. I think only 2 teams had fewer sacks than the Lions last year, which is not ideal. Houston takes Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU. Houston is another team that had to go best available. The question mark is, was Stingley Jr. the best available? Was he the guy? His past 2 seasons have had a lot of injuries. He was beyond elite in 2019, but last year he was not up to the same level. He dropped on a lot of people's boards. But in 2019, 6 interceptions on the year for Derek Stingley Jr. This was a gamble for Houston, and not one that I hate. Because the question was who was going to be off the board, him or Sauce Gardner. Which is a great name, by the way. Sauce Gardner. Ahmad Sauce Gardner. If Stingley is healthy, he's the better of the 2 players. He's got a higher ceiling than Sauce Gardner. He's got better size He's got better range than Sauce. But question is, are you getting 2019 Stingley or are you getting 2020 Stingley? If you get 2019, this was a steal. You get 2020 version, it's not. It's bad. But Sauce goes fourth to the New York Jets. Asked at the combine how he will react to giving up an NFL touchdown, Sauce said, "I won't." As in, I won't give one up. He said, quote, "I don't have plans on giving one up. I won't have to react because nobody's going to score me." Love it. Love it. Sauce is another guy coming out of Cincinnati. Zoe, was he made to look good because of the Cincinnati opposition? Or is he that good? It's a risk.
That's a great question, and who knows? The diamond-studded sauce bottle was nice, though.
It's good look.
It is.
It's good look. Just own it, right?
But the question is there anything in that?
The only way Sauce gets cooler is if Sauce's diamond-encrusted sauce is full of hot sauce. That's the only way that guy can get cooler. New York Giants take Kayvon Thibodeau, the defensive end out of Oregon, 19 sacks, 35 and a half tackles for a loss over 3 seasons. It's solid production. It's solid production, but it's not insanity, right? It's not an incredible number. Kayvon Thibodeau is a guy who gives you a lot of pressure, though. That's what he does. He creates pressure. He forces hurry-ups. He is a dude that is going to get in the backfield. He's going to make quarterbacks move. He's going to make quarterbacks hustle with the read. He's a guy that creates pressure. He's a guy that creates chaos. It may not show up on the stat sheet in terms of sacks and tackle for a loss, but he's an interesting player. He was expected to be a top 3 pick. The Giants got him at 5. That's a good pickup. And then the Panthers at 6. Icky. Akeem Ekwonu, offensive tackle, NC State.
I got to admit, there was some trepidation. I was waiting, thinking, oh, please go with the lineman. Please go with the lineman. And when they did, it's like, yeah, cool. Especially the one they went with. I was pretty pleased about that.
100%. It was the right pick.
Seems like a lot of hometown guys made it last night.
A lot of hometown guys? Oh, like to where they came from.
Yeah,
like
to where they
out of the Carolinas going to Carolina.
And Michigan, Detroit got their guy. Yep. I mean, there was a lot of that last night.
I like it. I don't like this pick. Ekwonu is, Rashad Beard said, probably the best pass rushing blocker. You know what they call him on campus? Mr. Pancake. Because the dude has a knack for putting D linemen on their asses.
I got to say, playing both offensive and defensive linemen, I don't know which is better, a pancake or a sack. I really don't, because they have kind of the same. Either way, the other guy's on his back.
Look, I was a defensive guy, so I'm all about the sack count. But if there is a dude in the locker room that is more celebrated than the offensive tackle who got the pancake on film and the coaches call it out, I don't know who it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. That gets shown quite a few times during film study, more than a sack. Sack gets a couple, but it's pretty cool.
Rob, come up and get your helmet sticker on the sack. Lonzo with the pancake is getting his pancake replayed 19 times. 19 times in the film room. And Ekwonu had no shortage of those last year. There is one question about this cat. One. And it's not even the pass blocking. It's that when he sets into a pass block, he does not adapt to pass rush techniques, right? When he kicks that leg back and he drops back into that pass block set, he can be beat by moves because he oversets. He gets set into his spot, and then he's not comfortable coming back out of it to prevent a spin, a bull rush, a swim move.
Would you consider the Panthers a running team, though? Because I would.
Tell me who my quarterback is next year, and I'll let you know.
But I think historically they've been kind of run first. So
You're probably right. CMC comes back and opens it up. Let me see what my quarterback is. But I'd say Carolina's a run team, which is why he fits in. I thought it would have been Evan Neal for the versatility. I don't hate this. All right, let me get Kevin in here to talk with us for just a minute. Kevin, welcome back, big fella. Good to have you, my guy.
Oh, my fellas, what's happening, man? Just a cool day on Friday, sitting in the delivery truck, listening to my fellas.
There it is, my guy.
So, hey, man, with Green Bay, we let Devontae Adams ride, so how did we not get a receiver in the first round, man? This is baffling me right now.
The Packers have not picked a skill position on offense in the first round of the draft, and this is not a joke, since 2003.
Yeah,
2003.
Yeah.
Bro, I was in high school.
We have not.
Yeah. I was in high school the last time the Packers picked a skill position player on offense in the first round. I thought they had to have learned their lesson, right? Like Aaron Rodgers put on his little show up, show out. I think he did it to make a point. I thought the Packers are going to come out and grab a wide receiver or grab something to help Aaron Rodgers out. And you went with Quay Walker, the linebacker from Georgia.
Yeah. This is a whole. We got a mess going on right now. So if we win 2 games, hey, we got a $200 million quarterback, though. Huh? I tell you, that's crazy. Hey, Lonzo, on the offensive line and defensive line, bro. Hey, that sack. I like the sack part because you get your name called out. But the roll out there and got a linebacker looking one way and he turned back around and I can clean his clock. I love it all day long. I love it.
Yeah, the best part is when you get that. When you get that eye contact, you're right. When they look away and they look back and you just meet eyes with them for a second before they go flying. It's an awesome feeling.
They go flying. And I'm thinking about taking him to the back of the end zone anyway. So by that time, he in the air with his feet touching my elbows. So that means I did something good.
There is nothing I love more than listening to offensive linemen talk offensive line stuff. It's the best.
It's a dirty job down there, but we got to do it and we love it.
It's the
we
best.
Just don't get our names called out, man.
I coached a youth rec league team a number of years ago back down in Florida, Kevin, and one of the first things I did was tell my skill position players, when you score, you give the ball to a lineman for the celebration. That scoring a touchdown is easy, and you get all the recognition in the stat book. You turn around, you give the ball to an offensive lineman, they Gronk spike it, not you. And that was the rule on the team.
Hey, man, if the running back or whoever scores just come and slap my helmet, I'm all right. I feel like I just scored a touchdown with you, man. I got at least 2 points after 6 that you just went and got. Like, just slap my helmet and tell me I did a good job. And, boy, I love you to death. But when it's not going right, it's always the offensive line's fault. It is always our fault. I don't care if the quarter all year long. He's thrown 37 picks, but only been sacked twice. But it's the offensive line's fault. Well, you want to talk about a locker room getting ready to go to battle? We'll go to battle and get talking about we tough, we gritty, but we sensitive about telling us that we're not blocking right now.
Kevin, good to talk to you, fella. Appreciate it. Love offensive linemen talking offensive line stuff.
I just thought of how being an offensive lineman has prepared me for the job that I'm in right now, because a radio producer is the offensive lineman for the host. Set everything up, make sure everything's good, get out there in front of stuff for the host, and if things go bad, it's all our fault.
I can 100% tell you, based on the meetings that I have had, it is not 100% your fault. All right, let's take a break. If you have any thoughts about your team's first round, I'll listen to them. I'll take them. I'll give you mine back. Kyrie popped off on Twitter yesterday. Everything's going just swell in Brooklyn. Do I want to make fun of that? Yes, obviously, yes, I do. Of course I do. So we'll talk about it when we come back. I'm Rob, he's Lonzo. This is the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate. Ben says he's team fist bump as well. It's because you're smart, Ben. Team fist bump for the win.
All right, right. So stay sitting. And at 43, edit the sports flash. Don't get up and shoot a basket.
Don't get up
Don't
and shoot a
find
basket.
something else to do.
Don't get up and shoot a basket.
Or attempt to shoot a basket. I found a way to spot it. It's just I can spot the end because there's CBS Sports Radio, and then they have a little music stinger at the end. So I can spot the end. It's just finding the beginning that is the problem.
After we get a CBS Sports Radio update from the Mensa man himself, Andrew Bogusch.
The Mensa man? Is that what he just referred to himself as?
Well, he referred to his guy.
Oh, gotcha.
And of course, I screwed it up. So I get to start all over again. So I guess, the only way to do it is with pressure.
Sorry I talked to you.
No, you didn't. It was me. I wish the zoom in and out would work with the scroll wheel, which it does not do. That just be better if it did.
What program are you using?
No, it's on wide orbit.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So Kyrie is doing, I mean, just fine. He's doing fine, guys. Don't worry about it. Everything is great. Everything is okay. Nothing to panic about. As the Brooklyn Nets get straight up smoked by the Boston Celtics. He went on a Twitter spree yesterday. He said, and I won't read all of them, but he said, when I see my name or my brothers and sisters' names getting spun through the media, I refer to all my research about who they are. Their job is to control public perception, all while profiting off discussing, discrediting, and disrespecting people's lives for entertainment. I send shots at the puppet masters, not the puppets. All puppets do is run around society trying to gain popularity and state opinions. What a life! Shrug emoji. My name is worth billions to these media corporations. My brothers and sisters who deal with this know exactly what I mean. When you become free mentally and spiritually, there is not much this twisted, racist society can surprise you with. My ancestors left behind all of the wisdom and truth for their agenda to be exposed. When you know exactly who they are, they can't hide from their filth. A lot of these media corporations make their money by degrading Black, African, and indigenous community heroes. They thrive off of it and then sell it back to us, having a hand-selected person or group of people spark controversy about them for the world to see. Just watch all of the people who wake up every day and report about people's lives on TV and social media and then profit off of them. Then they justify their jobs by saying they get paid to say how they feel. Shrug emoji. LOL. It's like these people live in a fantasy. Says the man who gets paid millions of dollars to play a child's game. Come on, Kyrie. Look, dude. There are absolutely some situations, some conditions built into the media which thrive on racism. I'm not even arguing with that. You're right. All right. But my guy, you are walking out into the middle of the train tracks, laying down on them, and then screaming that you're a victim of the train. Kyrie, my guy, trust me, Liberob the woke warrior will usually have the back of an athlete who has a point when the world is telling them shut up and dribble. All right? I don't need you to shut up and dribble. You be your own guy. Talk about what you want to talk about. Bring up the stuff you want to bring up for discussion. I'm good with it. But, dude, y'all do this to yourself. And by y'all, I mean you and KD, right? You and Durant, you and the Durantula. Do it to yourself. You built this. You decided to go to Brooktown. You decided to play on a super team. You decided to go on podcasts. You decided to put yourself at the center of the discussion. Do you think Kyrie missing 50 of the games of the Brooklyn Nets and causing you to be a 7 seed? What, are we just not supposed to talk about that? Lonzo, how am I as a sports talk radio host supposed to not talk about the team that was supposed to be the best offensive team in the history of the NBA getting bounced in the first round of the playoffs as a 7 seed? I would be not doing my job if I didn't talk about it, right?
So what time did he throw these comments out? This was yesterday? you said?
Yesterday.
Was it during the NFL draft?
These came out during the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, doing it then would get a lot of attention and take it away from another sport to point out towards. If I'm Kyrie, I'm just silent. Go back, get to work, and work on next year. Because you're fueling the machine that you're saying is coming after you.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's just better to just just blow it off and go, yeah, they don't know what they're talking about, and just move on.
Kyrie strikes me as one of those guys. You've met the guy, Lonzo. I've been accused of being the guy that genuinely believes they are much smarter than they actually are. You've met that guy.
I've been accused of that, and the people who accuse me of that, they don't know me very well, because I know that I'm genuinely, obviously, can't even say that word, not the smartest guy in the room. Doesn't make me dumb, just not the smartest guy in the room. But yes, I have worked with those people and been around those people. I have family members that are like that.
Yeah, 100%. I have been accused of being that guy all the time. But Kyrie, I am at the point now where I am convinced that Kyrie Irving, we're going to get the news that he joined Scientology soon. All right? Kyrie is the dude that says really dumb stuff and then goes, I'm just asking questions, bro. I'm just asking questions, bro. Right?
Just putting it out there for the universe.
Yeah, man. I'm just asking questions, dude. Yeah, bro. No, there's no that thing you're talking. I'm just asking questions, bro. I just want people to think, bro. Just think, dude. Just stop, man. Just stop. Kyrie, if you don't want to be the center of attention, can I give you a piece of advice? Stop doing it, right? Stop. It is not Stephen A. Smith's fault that you sent these tweets out and he responded to them. Or that I am, or that anybody else is.
Just blame everything on James Harden, and you're good. I mean, it's all James Harden's fault.
Kyrie, you know what the tweet you make is? If you want to get out of the public perception, do you know what the tweet is that you make? Not one. Nobody makes you tweet, Kyrie. Nobody's making you do it. Your team, which was supposed to be the best offensive team of all time, was bad. And a large chunk of the reason was you. You want to take the stance you took? That's fine. You want to endure the consequences that you endured and your team endured? That's fine. Have at. You knew what the rules were. You played. You lost. Your team got bounced. Quit running around going, oh, everybody's just beating up on me because I'm black. No, Kyrie. No. They're beating up on you because you keep putting the spotlight on yourself and then getting mad that you're in the light. You're getting beat up on because your team was supposed to be a thing and you sucked. Nobody cares about anything else. Texture says, have we talked about the Miami player NIL situation? Would love to hear Zoe's take on this. Well, you will when we come back. Isaiah Wong, who we watched play right here in Greenville last year, is out at Miami because he wants more NIL money. I'll address that when we come back on the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate.
From the Mensa man himself, Andrew Bogusch.
I have, Keegan. Rob has not.
I'm assuming that's a Moon Knight question.
Yes.
I don't even have to look at the stream anymore. I'm watching them tonight. Courtney is leaving for Florida after the show. I got to leave here to bring her to the airport. So I'm going to go home, finish getting our podcast up, and then a couple episodes of Moon Knight, hockey game. Tomorrow, finish up Moon Knight, hockey game, Sunday sleep. Kagan, you want to play some? Do you want to play some D&D on Sunday? I might run a little one shot for some people since I got the Casa de Love to myself. If you would like to dabble for the first time Sunday evening, that may be a possibility. Oh, I thought you were going 2 for 2. Were you playing Beat the Clock and?
I do better under pressure with things, so I just wanted to test it.
Just with things.
Yes. Because you don't have time to think.
Yeah.
You just do.
You kind of do look like Dude Love a little bit. With the tie-dye and the headband and the hair, you kind of do have a little Dude Love semblance going on. I don't hate it. Speaking of,
Except I have all my teeth.
I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move. We're gonna do Wrestling with the Rise Guys starting next week. 9 and Matt Man are gonna join us once a week, and I'm moving it away from Thursday so Lonzo doesn't think they're encroaching on his territory.
Dude, I'm just kidding.
Oh no!
No. I'm just kidding.
We're moving it.
I was just joking. It was just a joke. If we're talking about it on one day, we can't talk about wrestling 2 days and on 2 different days. That's not allowed, is
We'll
it?
see. Maybe we'll just bring them in for Fight Club.
By the way, dude, I'm just messing
Don't worry.
around. I'm just
Don't
messing
worry.
around.
I took care of you, Zoe. Took care of you. I'm the offensive lineman of the show. You're the quarterback. We've already established that. All right.
All right, so now I'm guilty for the last hour. Sometimes jokes go the wrong way, and I was just messing around. Listen, I know we're gonna have those guys in, and it's a big deal and everything. I'm still the star in the room.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
100%.
I'm fine. I'm good with it.
Of course you are. Fan, there is a lot of truth in what Kyrie is saying. Media is racist with a whistle. Just listen to how they talk about black quarterbacks. Look, I'm not going to go way down this path. I said that. You heard the segment. I literally said that. Some of what Kyrie said is real. Some of what Kyrie said is accurate. I agree with some of what Kyrie said. I absolutely think there are dog whistles put in place in the media very frequently. However, I think if you're Kyrie, you got to recognize you set this up. Yeah? You set this up. You did this. You put yourself in this spot to get blasted, to get yourself put on blast. You did this to you, Kyrie, right? I absolutely think that a lot of what he said is accurate, but Kyrie did this to Kyrie. All right. Here's a fun conversation that I know is totally going to go really silky smooth, okay? Really silky, super silky smooth.
Almost as smooth as you talking about how smooth it's going to go.
It's going to go. Nailed it. Isaiah Wong is a point guard. Well, scratch that. Was a point guard for the Miami Hurricanes. Isaiah Wong played good basketball. Isaiah Wong took the Miami Hurricanes to the Elite Eight last year under Jim Larinaga. We saw that team play right here in the Ville. They opened up their campaign by being one of the two teams, they and Duke, to advance out of, and not only advance out of Greenville, they played damn good basketball in Greenville. They played really good basketball here in the upstate. Took it all the way to the Elite Eight. Well, Isaiah Wong has entered the transfer portal. Not because he's unhappy with his coach or the program. He is unhappy because his NIL compensation isn't what he wants it to be. Entered the transfer portal today and will depart the university if his NIL compensation isn't increased, according to, and this is where some of you guys are going to start to get upset, but stick with me for a minute because we're all going to have a common enemy at the end of this. He's going to leave Miami if his NIL compensation isn't increased, according to Adam Pappas, his NIL agent, who put out a statement saying, if Isaiah and his family don't feel that the NIL number meets their expectations, they will be entering the transfer portal while maintaining his eligibility in the NBA draft and going through the draft process. Isaiah would like to stay at Miami. He had a great season leading his team to the Elite Eight. He has seen what incoming Miami Hurricane basketball players are getting in NIL, and he would like his NIL to reflect that he was a team leader of an Elite Eight team, end quote. Papa said he recently negotiated an NIL deal for Kansas State transfer Nigel Pack that included $800,000 over 2 years plus a car. Pack was considered the number one player in the transfer portal before committing to Miami. The deal was funded by billionaire John Ruiz, who has been at the forefront of the NIL movement, orchestrating deals across several sports. Among them are deals with women's college basketball twins Haley and Hannah Cavender, who transferred from Fresno State to Miami, and UCLA football transfers Caleb Johnson and Mitchell Agude, who have transferred to Miami, all of them bringing collectively about 6 million Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok followers with them to the University of Miami. Miami is not where the NIL has been centered, but Miami, maybe more than anybody else in the country, is absolutely utilizing NIL to get kids to DU. Emphasis on duh. They are bringing in cash, homie, and Isaiah Wong says, I want some. Now, why is this happening at the University of Miami? This is happening because when the NCAA was jumping out in front of the NIL situation, do you remember what the decision of soon-to-be retired Mark Emmert was? It was, we don't want to be involved. We're going to let the states handle this, right? We're going to let the states handle what the NIL rules look like in each individual territory and within their college systems. Welp, Florida went ham on it. Florida said, word, we got you. And Florida allows NIL agents. Florida allows big time money. They did not put limits on it. Florida allows agencies to work with kids, and Florida does not require the kid be involved at all. Isaiah Wong can go to Alex Pappas and say, hey, bruh, I want $500,000 to play this year. And Adam Pappas can go out and find it for him. And if he can't find it, Isaiah Wong can say, deuces, I'm out. I'll find somebody who will hook me up. Do you know how much better the situation would have been if the NCAA would not have dragged feet, would not have kicked the can down the road, and would have not have shirked the responsibility to come up with some guidelines here? This is on the NCAA. Not the kids, not the agencies, not the schools. This is on the NCAA. This is part of the reason that so many of us are anti-NCAA. This was not an issue that jumped up and caught Mark Emmert by surprise, caught the NCAA by surprise. This was a process that has been playing out for the better part of 14, 15 years now. And they said, we'll get around to it. We'll get around to it. Oh, it's here. Well, we're going to let the states handle it. We're going to let the states handle it. We're going to let those folks deal with it. We don't feel like it's an NCAA issue. Well, now the NCAA is in a spot because Miami has an agency bringing in kids like a basketball player getting $800K over 2 years plus a car to play shooty hoops at the University of Miami. And he's got an agent orchestrating that. By the way, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. Doesn't bother me at all. This does not impact me. Whatever. Cool. Good for that kid. Got that paper. I wish I was good enough at basketball to have gotten $800K a year to go play. This is not the school paying him. This is not a salary. This is businesses somewhere going, yeah, we're in. We'll have that kid rep our school for $800K for 2 years. Lonzo, if somebody called you right now and offered you a $400,000 a year salary to take a job and all you had to do was wear a T-shirt once a week, I'd suspect you're signing that deal.
It depends on what the T-shirt said.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not mad at the kid. I'm not mad at the agent. The environment was created by the NCAA's failure to get out ahead of what was a very clear and obvious situation brewing for the better part of a decade. And now everybody's mad at the kids. I got to tell you, you sign me up for a salary of $400K a year, I don't give a daggum what you think about me. And by you, I mean literally everyone. I'll say what I want. Lonzo, what's your take on all this?
All right, so of course this is my biggest fear all along, but you're right. It's the powers that be. It's their fault because they decided to allow things that went on in back rooms to come out in front so people can see how it and make it even worse by allowing this kind of money. These kids are businessmen now. The fact that this guy wants more money to play, more proof that college sports no longer the look is no longer there that they're amateur sports. They're not. They're pro sports. That's exactly what they are. And this is just the beginning. I'm surprised this didn't happen earlier. But once one guy does it, or girl, or whoever, they're all going to start doing it. So now it's highest bidder. It probably already was that anyway, but now it's visible and it's out in the open even further. So you can be an old guy, an old timer. Remember, back in the day how things used to be. In this case, I agree with you.
So
this is the next progression, and the problem after this is the thing that I was afraid of the most. This is going to start affecting things on the field, or on the court, or wherever.
It is right now,
right?
Because here's the thing.
That was, if you recall, this has been my thing all along. I'm more worried about the money affecting what goes on with the team. And in this case, this could be really bad. It could.
Nigel Pack showed up from Kansas State, got $800K in a car for 2 years left on his scholarship, right? And then
By the way,
Wong,
this stuff is legal now, so good for him. Get all you can get. And the fact that Wong says I want more, good for you. This is what everyone wanted. This is what you guys wanted. This is what you're going to get.
Don't bother me. You're saying that, and I know you're not saying it to me, but you're saying that as if I'm looking at the situation and going, "Oh no, I don't care. I don't care." Nigel Pack got cheddar. He got the bag. And now Isaiah Wong's going, whoa, hold up. This dude was not here. This dude just showed up with a check for $800K in a car. I took this team to the Elite Eight last year, and he did, by the way. He did. It was a good Miami team, but Isaiah Wong was a beast who lived his life in beast mode last year. And he's going, yo, I took you to the Elite Eight. I got you there. And now new guy is strolling in, and he's got $800K and a ride before I get anything. No.
So I have another thing about this. So this is basketball, right?
Correct.
So this guy ain't good enough to play in the NBA.
Oh, no, he very well. Isaiah Wong.
No. If you're good enough to play in the NBA, you're one and done and you're moving on. So this guy's trying to get all the money he can while in college because he knows he can't get it in the NBA. If he's good enough to go to the NBA, after you play, you go get the real money in the NBA. So this guy ain't good enough to play in the NBA and make the kind of money that he could make. And if this was football, that would be different. But this is college basketball. You only got to play 1 year, then you can move on.
This is true. But remember, the long term of going to the league is not you're either in the league or you're out, right? There's G League, there's developmental league. And there's some good kids. Jackson
I am
Hayes came out of the
guessing
J-League.
you make more money staying in college than you would in the G League.
Bingo.
So,
Bingo.
but he's not good enough to make it to the NBA. Because if you are, then you don't stay in college and make the money there. He's making the money there because he knows he ain't gonna make it in the NBA.
I mean, if you want to look at it that
Why
way,
do
fine.
you want that little bit of money when you can go make millions in the NBA if you're that good?
Look, if Isaiah Wong, I don't know if Isaiah Wong is a lottery pick. I don't know if he's a draft pick. I don't know if he's a G League for a year or two to develop, right? A guy like a Jackson Hayes that did it in Birmingham and now is
But again,
going to New Orleans.
if you're a G leaguer, you stay in college basketball because you can make more money that way.
If you're as good as Isaiah Wong, by the way, Hurricane Jeff just texted in and said, I don't have a problem at all with Isaiah Wong looking to up his financial status. It's going on with the basketball team at Miami. Let me pull up the rest of the text because they get cut up. And the football team is taking advantage of it as well. Good for them. Yeah, welcome. Kid wants more money on top of a $200,000 free degree to play a kid's game. I mean, dude. Yeah. What's the old expression? Never do what you're good at for free? College degrees are like, it's super. That's awesome. You got a degree. That's great.
Get what you can while you can get it. But the whole thing is, you're not a star. Because if you were a star, you'd be in the NBA.
Maybe.
So at the same time, you're taking advantage of getting the most money you can in the place that you are.
Sure.
I get that.
Sure. Get what you want. Get what you can where you can get it. That's the second half of that phrase, yeah? Get what you can get where you can get it. No doubt about it. Oh, he wants money on top. Yeah, so do I. I work other jobs outside of this. I play in a band. I do some DJing stuff here and there. I picked up another show on Saturday. You know why? Do you know why I picked up the show on Saturday? I mean, doing the nationally syndicated radio show, being the first guy in the building to do a nationally syndicated weekly radio show is phenomenal. Do you know why I took that show? Because they pay me, Jack. Because they pay me. I got a good life here in Greenville, South Carolina.
And in this case, steady pay because it's every week, not just sporadically here and there. No, it's every week.
It's every week. Start to finish of the baseball season, every week a new check shows up to me with my name on it. Of course I took it. Could I do it for free to help out Odyssey, to help out the game, to help out BetQL? You damn right I could. Am I gonna? No. Because I'm going to get what I can get, just like everybody else in the building. That's what we do. That's what people do. My dude said, you got a new guy rolling up into the building with $800K for 2 years in a ride. I just took you to the Elite Eight. And he was the most important part of that basketball team. There's no doubt about that. I just took you to the best basketball season the Miami Hurricanes have had in, 2 decades? And the new guy gets out of 800 in a car? Where's mine?
At the same time, in the real world, if they hire someone to come in and host here and you find out that they're making like twice your salary, do you think you have any leeway to go say, hey, I want some of that too? Because but they're just going to laugh at you or show you the door.
Cool. And then I get to decide, is this good enough for me, right? Like one of the worst things ever. Here, I'm gonna give you my millennial take of the week, Zoe.
Wait, you're a millennial?
Shocking. An elder millennial. I'm a senior millennial. I'm like upper echelon millennial. One of the worst things that's ever happened is the fact that nobody talks about their salaries in public, right? Because nobody knows what everybody's value. You have no idea what your value is compared to what everybody else is. I got no problem. I'm not gonna do it on the air, but I got no problem telling people what I make. It's not like a big secret to me because I want to know my value and everybody else wants to know their value too, right? Of course you do. Isaiah Wong now knows his value, right? He knows his value. Because this other kid showed up and his agent went, yo, I got him $800K and a rig. Isaiah Wong now knows his value is $800K and a rig. So he's asking for it. What's the problem?
What kind of car was it?
I don't know. They didn't say.
That kind of factors in.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like $800K and a Rolls,
yeah,
it's a little different than $800K in a Civic. No disrespect to Civics. I used to drive one. Texture says, it's not as fun when you two agree with each other. Y'all don't fake your takes for clicks and views?
Wait. People fake their takes?
I'm not capable of it. I can't do it. But no. Lonzo and I agree sometimes. We disagree sometimes.
We agree most of the time.
That's probably true.
Yeah. There's a few things, really big things that we disagree on, but we leave that, other places.
This text infuriates me. Kid wants more money on top of a $200,000 free degree to play a kid's game. Yo, there's money on the table. There are people that are in offices that profit mucho on college basketball. It's like there's only one group of people y'all don't want profiting off of college basketball, and that's college basketball players. Why? I don't get it. Fan, wait, if you tell us what you make, Rob, wouldn't it be close to free? Nah, I don't work for free.
Depends on what you consider close to free. That would be me.
Shut up, baby. Show me the bag. All right, let's take a break.
I was going to say radio is the most secretive of all.
100%.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
No one talks about how much they make or don't make.
By the way, Lonzo.
There's general consensus that no one makes a lot. There's that.
By the way, and what is a far more interesting discussion? Look over there. Parking lot.
Wow.
Far right spot.
All right, so we've got some consistency going on here.
That's the same car.
No, it's consistency. Exactly. Yeah.
The car from yesterday that I asked the question, if the car parks
the worst today.
If a car parks with its tires on the line, do you A, park next to them regular? Do you B, park next to them close to their car? Or do you C, park next to them like up in they stuff? You know what I mean? Like where they can't open that door as a punishment. The same car is back today, and Lonzo, the back left tire is over the line. The front left tire is in the next parking spot. If that car is still there when I get off the air, I may very well go move my Jeep next to them and go get a chicken salad. That's all I'm saying.
I just want to say I appreciate you, listener, and what you're doing. That's all I want to say.
If that person is listening and did this intentionally, phenomenal troll job.
It's great.
Phenomenal
awesome.
Troll job. If that's just how you park, you're a bad person. You're a bad person. If that is how you parked and looked at it and decided, no, this is all right, you're a bad person. That's the same car. That person
It is the same car.
Went,
you're right.
This is a terrible parking job, but I'm good with it. Today went, this is a worse parking job, and I'm cool with it. You're a bad person, and you should feel bad about your life and your decisions. I'm going to go tear out a page of a coloring book and put it under the windshield wiper so they can work on staying between the lines. Back after this on The Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate. but they're so bad at it. Like, how do you get that doing that on the belt is going to get a heel reaction? Nobody likes that. And by the way, I'd like to thank Lambert because them putting a sledgehammer through the car and his response of, I'm rich, I'll buy another one, was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Amazing.
I mean, the match itself wasn't bad. That match.
This guy responded. Khan said, I've never seen anything like it. And then somebody said, oh, so you're new to wrestling?
Will there be any more crazy trades tonight?
There's got to be. Can't imagine there's not.
You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done, and you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Manny in Chattanooga, whose local Granger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call clickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Where could 5-Hour Energy take you? How about on a $10,000 dream vacation? Imagine visiting a sun-soaked tropical beach, a picturesque ski resort in the mountains, or exploring one of the world's most exciting cities. It's up to you. Just vote for 5-Hour Energy's next delicious flavor. 5 lucky winners will get the trip of a lifetime to their dream destination. Go to 5hevote.com for official rules and to enter. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends June 30th, 2022. Must be U.S. resident, age 18 or older to enter. Void where prohibited. Sponsored by Living Essentials, LLC.
The text. When you hear the Lightsabers Clash, it's time for Fanboy Friday, where Lonzo and I take all the nerdy stuff we talk about off the air and bring it on the air because it's our show and we want to deal with it.
I have a question for you. Should I take the Will Smith and Johnny Depp off the intro? I don't know. Should I leave them? What should I do?
No, leave them. Leave them.
Because I'm willing to leave them for spite,
Leave 'em.
especially if it bothers someone. But, you know.
Leave them. Texture says, Vince, do you know who Sex Panther Brown is? I keep hearing Lonzo associated with him. I don't know who you are, Texter, but thank you and I love you. That's amazing. I cannot wait to hear what the next half of that.
Well, since the time change, I haven't got to talk to Vince like I normally would. So hopefully it constitutes him calling me, you know, afternoon and asking me what it
Lonzo,
is.
What the hell is this? All right. So let's start with Moon Knight. I have watched the first 3 episodes, which leaves me 3 behind? 3 off the pace?
There have been 5 out of 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 1 more coming next week.
Yeah.
So I'm 2 off the pace. Here's what I can say without talking about it. I love this show. I think every actor across the board has done an incredible job.
I got to tell you, prepare yourself for episode 5 because it's rough. It really is.
Have heard. I also believe Keegan said it's an incredible episode.
It is, but it's very rough.
Rough like violent or rough like emotional?
I will say if you come from a certain kind of background, it will hit you.
Okay.
Hit you hard.
Okay.
Literally, maybe.
Yeah. It's been good. There there hasn't been a Marvel TV series I have not liked, and they're all very unique. Like I don't get all the TV shows have been very different, right? WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. They've all been different. They've all had a different style, a different feel. I think Moon Knight is my favorite. I think Moon Knight is my favorite. I think that the style of it is great. It doesn't feel like a lot of those felt forced, right? It felt like, oh, we got 6 episodes. We got to jam as much as we can into 6 episodes. It doesn't feel forced to me. And by the way, I love WandaVision.
I was going to say, it's not number one for me. I really enjoy it. Hawkeye's number one for me. You didn't even mention it, but that's fine. Hawkeye was really good because of the star of it. Talking about Haley Steinfeld and also Yelena Boliva.
Yeah.
I'm never going to say her name right, but I think that made that show. But all these shows are good. You're right. They're unique. They have different styles, but they're good. There hasn't been one where you went, okay, they wasted their money on that.
Yeah. No, I agree. They've all been good. Moon Knight's still different. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I think thematically it's been very interesting. The content that they're pushing has been interesting, right? The premise of it is good, but it's not overwhelming, right? Like, it's got this very... Moon Knight is a character that most people don't know.
Right.
I think you've said a number of times you don't know Moon Knight.
Yeah, I believe I do now to a certain degree, but yeah, I didn't before. And I kind of like that because you go in with kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. You go in with no expectations because you don't know the source material. You go in with an open mind of, okay, wow me, and they have.
Yeah. For a character that the majority of people do not have any background with, I knew vaguely of Moon Knight. Vaguely of Moon Knight. Got the concept of the avatar of Khonshu. What's interesting about him, and I haven't watched the last 2 episodes, and there's one more to go, so I'm interested to see how they evolve this. When granted, so Moon Knight is the avatar of Khonshu, is granted the strength of his power, right? Like Khonshu has to give him the power and can also take it away when he doesn't see it to fit to be used in a certain spot. Khonshu, when he gives full power to Moon Knight, has the power to stop Thor. That's how strong he can be, but it's not up to him, and that's what makes it interesting, especially with the identity disorder that this character has in this version. I love it. I think it's great. Steven asked what day we're going to see Doctor Strange. Opening day?
I already got my ticket.
Opening day?
Yeah, I'll be going on Thursday. Usual place. Didn't get the IMAX tickets because they were already sold. Have to go to Real 3D. So, but I definitely will be there.
Opening day. I'm in. And the more rumors that come out about this movie, the more I'm in for it, right? Like,
talking about the series, all these series, one thing that hasn't happened yet is they haven't tied into the movies. This is going to be the first movie where we're going to see some tie-ins from, and you didn't mention What If, which was also very good. So we're going to get some tie-ins, especially from What If in Doctor Strange.
Give me Captain Carter, please. Please.
Will it be her, though?
I hope so.
Because it's, multiverse.
Yeah.
It'll be a version of her, but will it be her?
We'll see. I don't know. I'm in. And I will officially go on the record and say the show is out, which I have. By the way, I just remember we got a copy of the show to give away. We do.
We've got to remember to take care of that next week.
Yeah. Coming up on what? I guess next week we're doing it? I don't know.
It's in May, which is next week. So yes, we're on top of things here. That's what we do.
Yes, we are. I got copies of the show to give away. Anyway,
when he's saying the show, he's talking about
the video game, the baseball video
MLB,
game.
the show.
Yeah, MLB, the show, the video game. It's all I refer to it. Anyway, picked it up. Have been playing it the last couple of nights on Xbox. And Lonzo, I can officially now tell you, Elden Ring is deleted off my PC. Worst $60 I've spent in months on a video game.
I don't want to call
Waste
you.
the $60.
I don't want to call you a quitter.
Call me a quitter. I quit.
All right. So to me, the best thing about a video game is if you spend more than 30 hours in it. I've spent a couple hundred hours in Elden Ring. Still haven't beat it. So, and it's my go-to right now. And I think it's a great game. I think it really is. I've seen some people like you, like Tony Schiavone, some other people who have quit, but it's no slight to you. All these games, all these Dark Souls games are extremely hard.
Yeah,
they are.
It got to the point of I am not having fun, right? I don't mind a challenge, but I want to be enjoying while I undertake the challenge, right? I don't mind the challenge of the show. I suck at hitting, but I have fun when I'm playing. Elden Ring, it got to the point where I wasn't having fun with the game. It was less fighting and more running away from things. That's not fun to me. That's not fun. I'm not saying I need to be able to beat everything. However, when I get beat and it's like, sucks, you just lost everything you've done for the past 3 hours, I'm out.
I've done this throughout my gaming life, my entire life, is I will do things the wrong way, get all the way to very close to the final boss, and then start over again. And I've done that with Elden Ring. I'm being consistent. That's what I do. I've done the same thing with some Final Fantasy games, some other games. I get all the way through, realize, okay, this build is not going to work. Now I have knowledge of the game. Let me go back and try it again. Doesn't make it makes it a little bit easier because you know what's coming. But I don't think less of you for giving up on it because it's a difficult game. And then we got guys like Tayshawn who've been on here who you can like pay to come in and help you beat the game. So that's a skill level that I never will attain on probably any game.
There's a dude, I don't know if you've heard about this phenomenon. There is a dude who is playing as what's the dude with the jug on the head?
Oh, I'm a prisoner.
Prisoner.
That's what I'm playing as right now. By the way, they make it to where whatever helmet you find is not better than that stupid. So you can't take it off. You keep going, yeah, but the immunity is so high on the thing. It's like, that's messed up. And then they did it on purpose.
There's one dude playing as that, and all he does is he waits for you at the site of either the final boss or one of the big bosses. And he puts down his little thing to where he can help. He goes in, he helps people who can't beat that boss, and then he disappears. And he does it with like a basic sword and a jar in his head. And he's so good that he can beat the final boss with just a sword and a jar in his head. When I saw the video of this cat doing that, I was like, no, I'm done with this game. I'm done with this game. I've put like 10, 12 hours into it. I am getting smoked by the first guy you meet coming out of the tutorial.
Who you're not supposed to fight. You're not supposed to fight that
No,
guy.
I mean, went and did stuff and leveled up and grinded and came back, smoked. Can't do anything. I'm out. I'm done.
My second time through, even though I didn't beat it the first time, I took the guy out because I knew how to do it.
Nope, going to the show. I'm just going back
Anyway,
to Halo and the show.
What Rob is saying is that we're going to have some copies of MLB The Show 2022 to give away next week.
On the console of your choice. So make sure you stick around for that. To your show for gamers, except Elden Ring, because that game sucks.
It doesn't suck.
It sucks.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Take a break. We're coming back. We'll wrap this bad boy up. Got a couple more sports things to talk about, and then we hit Twitter trending topics on the way out the door. My name is Rob. His name is Lonzo. You're listening to The Rob Brown Show right here on the Fan Upstate. A joke I told on Facebook, Lonzo, 13 years ago. Do Buddhist suicide notes say BRB cruel? Oh, yeah. Be right back, stream. we back?
So I had to take the hair thing off. It's kind of like crazy now, so I can't do hook hair. My hair's too long to do hook hair. Oh, that hurts so bad. It should not hurt like that. They need a large noggin section.
A large noggin section.
All right, Keegan, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you just but you're smart, so you know the fact that you sent that to me because it would spoil Rob.
Did he send you something aside from the chat?
Yeah, it has to do with Moon Knight. Big Lou.
He's on meds too. What a tag.
The Titans use the GM Howie Rose. Roses are red, violets are blue. D-Cell loves trades and receivers too. So the Eagles did him from Andrew Vice.
Yay, I doed it.
All right, putting a bow on the most outstanding show in the state of South Carolina, according to the South Carolina Broadcasters Association. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. Thanks for hanging out. Let's go with it. Overall grades for the NFL draft last night. Jacksonville Jaguars get a, I'm gonna say a C, honestly. I'm gonna say a C. I don't get it. I don't get the pick. You got a run-stopping defensive end when there were two other guys known for getting more pressure. That's a C. Not a great pick.
B minus. Because those guys were kind of interchangeable for a lot of people. So we'll see. Aiden Hutchinson should have been number one, but you know, it isn't like they went Raiders and picked some guy that should have been third round or something.
Detroit getting Aiden Hutchinson at the second spot. It's A+, right? You took the best player on the board.
Absolutely A+.
Houston, Derek Stingley Jr. I'm going to give this one a B. I'm going to give it a B because Sauce Gardner was right there, but it's a gamble. This is going to be a B, Lonzo. That's either going to turn into an A+ or an F, depending on what happens with Derek Stingley Jr. But they gambled. I got no problem with the gamble. I'll give it a B.
Houston has a lot of needs, but this was, I'm going to go with a B also. There were a lot of, I think, pretty good choices in the first round.
Stingley could turn into an absolute monster. He could also be a total bust. New York Jets getting Sauce Gardner. Give that one a B as well. Maybe an A. I'll go A minus. I'm going to
go with a C on that because Sauce. I mean, proved to me that you deserve that name. And
Sauce.
From what they said, the coach would not call him by that name.
I mean, he goes and gets you about 6 INTs a year. He might very well do it. New York Giants take Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon. I'm going to give that one an A. I think Kayvon was probably. I think Kayvon's going to end up being either the best or the second best pass rusher in this group. The Giants taking him at 5 and not trading back. Good move.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Carolina gets Akeem Ekwonu. A+ for Carolina.
Well, without a doubt, finally, they listened, or they were just smart enough to realize, hey, we need help on the line.
Yeah. Could have reached for a quarterback. All the offensive players were on the board at this point. As the first 5 taken were all defensive players. They did not reach. They did not risk it. They went ahead and took the biscuit. Akeem Ekwonu is a Carolina Panther, and that's an A+ from both of us. The Giants also had pick number 7. Like this pick, too. Evan Neal, offensive lineman, Alabama. Arguably the most versatile O-lineman on the board. That's a great pick for the Giants with the 7th pick.
Yeah, someone should have told the Giants and Jets that they're the Giants and Jets because they didn't seem like it last night.
Yeah, they both were on top of the game. Falcons take Drake London, the wide receiver out of USC, former basketball player. You pair him up on the opposite side of Russell Gage is gone. Calvin Ridley is suspended. You put him, what's the Kyle Pitts? You put him on the other side of Pitts. Dude, just throw it in the air. You got 2 7-footers basically going out there to get it. I love that pick for Atlanta. That's a scary red zone team. Only question is, can you get there?
Who's the quarterback there? Just saying.
Marcus Mariota.
There we go.
Which is why this pick works, right?
Okay, yeah.
Marcus, get us to the red zone and just throw it at the goalpost. Bleep it. Drake and Kyle down there somewhere. Seattle takes Charles Cross, 3 offensive linemen there. It's a fine pickup. I mean, it's a good offensive line pickup, but Seattle, what are you going to do? Bye-bye, Russ. Bye-bye.
Seattle, who's your quarterback?
Yeah. New York Jets take Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State, and they get an A. I'll go A- for me.
Come on, A++.
A++, double plus. I like it. 4.38, 40 in Indy. That's a combine 4.38. That's a good run. Saints trade up and take Chris Olave out of the wide receiver out of Ohio State. Another guy, same situation last one. You're looking at a 4.3. What'd you say? 4.39 40.
4.39. Yeah.
4.39 40. How about this? 35 touchdowns, school record, averaged 15.4 yards per catch.
When you're a Buckeyes fan, you're going,
Whew.
throw it to Olave.
Whew. He pairs up with slant god Mike Thomas. Good. I love this. Love it for the Saints. A+ there. Lonzo, fair?
Oh, come on.
I need to hear it.
Yes, A++.
Detroit takes Jamison Williams, the wide receiver out of Alabama. I like that one too, but remember, he popped that knee in the championship game. Is he going to be healthy?
I hate to keep saying this, but who's throwing him the ball?
Yeah. Jared Goff. Again, good luck. Philly takes Jordan Davis, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. Dude, the guy got winded looking at the field towards the end of the season last year. I'm worried about the big man. Better conditioning, he's going to be a monster. But if I can wear him out by double teaming him for 1 quarter, Lonzo, and then he disappears from the game, I can handle that. I can handle that.
Well, if he's just in there for a couple plays and he does what he can do for those couple plays, it might be worth it.
Maybe. 2-down run stuffer, right? Put him in there on 1st and 10 and 3rd and short. Let him come off the field on every passing down. Good enough. I was going to finish these up, but nobody cares after that, right?
But you can. I was going to say you can do that. I was waiting because it is draft time, and well, anyway, time for Twitter trending topics.
Let's have some fun on the way.
All right, the first thing that's trending is Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose. I have not watched NXT in days. I don't know.
All right, the reason why Mandy Rose is trending because Ember Moon did a interview where she said that she was in a meeting where they were told that they should be more sexy like Mandy Rose.
Oh, God.
And she said she didn't need to wear fishnets and have her booty shaking. She was out there for kids. That's what Ember Moon said.
Yo, straight up, WWE's a cycle, right? You're gonna go right back. You had the women's revolution where everybody was on board and riding for Bayley and Charlotte and all these women who were good lookers, but that wasn't the thing, right? And then here you're gonna come down the pipe a couple of years later and go, no, we want bimbos again.
I will
Stop.
say, Mandy
I love
Rose.
Mandy.
Mandy was a great interview, by the way.
Love Mandy.
Yeah.
Love Mandy. But you don't need every chick needs to be a Playboy 10.
Absolutely. You're right. Because you're out there, you're trying to attract a bunch of different audiences, including children. All right. So the next thing trending, and you mentioned this earlier, Captain Carter is trending.
So what are the odds she shows up in Doctor Strange?
You haven't seen the teaser.
No, I haven't.
Yes. It just,
I've been off of Twitter today.
it just came out. That's why it's trending. The latest teaser. It shows Captain Carter. It doesn't show her. It shows someone wielding her shield.
Okay.
And
All right.
posing, if you will.
I'm in. Let's go. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the shield right there. It's a good look. I don't know if it's our peg or not, but we'll find out.
It probably is.
I'm in. I can't wait. Oh, that's opening day film for me. Without a doubt.
And the last thing is trending is Baker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, Baker Mayfield.
That is not breaking news. That was speculation.
That's 100% speculation. All right. That's it for us, kids. Have a great weekend. Triumph and Swamp Rabbits both at home tonight. Pick one and go. Swamp Rabbits back in action tomorrow, game 5 of their playoff series. We're back on Monday to break it all down. He's Lonzo. I'm Sex Panther. Have a great weekend. Don't drink and drive. I'll punch you in the face. This was the star-winning Rob Brown Show right here on the Fan Upstate. Later, brother. If cats could text you back, they would not.